What's up everyone, welcome to the first video of 2025. Happy New Year to all of you, and I'm just going to continue where I left off. This is episode number 13 of cheesing with every unit to Grandmaster. Our MMR is looking extremely strong, almost 5,000 MMR, which is a very healthy amount. Probably about rank 100 in Grandmaster if I had to guess. Now, we don't have that many units left. We have a couple of difficult ones with Zerg in particular. We also still have to do Void Ray Cheese, Mothership Cheese. That one I'm very excited for, and a bunch of basic Terran units. I don't know what race we're gonna get. Let's begin. All right, the first game of the day is going to be against So Bad Rush, a Zerg player. And we got Protoss, judging from the tooltip here. Now, we're playing on Neon Violet Square, which is a pretty heavy macro map. And my first instinct here was to say that it's time for the Mothership build. Now, the build I had in mind, I didn't really have anything super specific in mind. I just know that what I wanted to do was take a regularly timed natural and then make a Mothership and just recall a big army in my opponent's base. I don't know what that army is going to be. On one hand, it makes sense to make a lot of sentries because let's say I recall my army over here. If my opponent reacts slowly, this is just absolutely screwed, right? Like, I can just force field that forever. Even if it's not on the ramp, I can force field it forever, and that's going to be a pretty nice situation. I could also go for something a little more mineral heavy, because I guess that's going to give me the biggest army in general. So in that case, I would go for charge slots and maybe make a Templar archive. So the gas I do have after starting the Mothership, I can make a couple Archons from it. I could also make... Oh, we're gonna get the proxy hatch here, it looks like. Or maybe not. Oh, wait, he's probably just scouting because I'm random. It feels so weird to see a drone scout. It's just, it doesn't... You know, I mean, it's something I would do, but it still doesn't feel quite right somehow. So I just assumed we were gonna get proxy hatch here. You might still try it, to be honest. Let's see, I'm just gonna keep my probe over here. Second probe is already on the way. So this drone is not going to win. He's probably gonna want to run away with that. I was just gonna have a little bit of mental pain losing that drone. Now, I was actually planning on... Please. Just... Okay. I was so afraid he was going to block that. I just needed a couple of minerals. I actually wanted to save this for the first 2v2 episode I was going to record. But I'm going to say it now. And I'm going to say it in the next 2v2 episode anyway. But the uThermal 2v2 circuit is officially confirmed, guys. And I'm super excited for it. I already made the bracket page and stuff. Or my admin made it for me. And it's going to be on January 7th. The first $1,000 monthly cup of the uThermal 2v2 circuit. And yeah, basically the way it's going to work, I'm not going to explain everything right now. It's just going to have a point system. People can play the $1,000 monthlies, and it's going to lead to a grand finale, for which my goal is to make it the biggest 2v2 tournament ever. I don't have enough prize money for that yet, but I'm going to try my best. But anyway, it's going to be on January 7th, and I would love to invite all of you guys to join me live on stream. Normally, to be honest, YouTube is definitely my priority over Twitch, but I really want to try and do something for the scene, make a cool tournament. I know a lot of, in particular, the esports viewers tend to be on Twitch and not as much on YouTube. I'm going to be streaming it on January 7th. It's going to start pretty early for US time zone. I think it's 9 AM CST. That's going to be 4 PM CET for Europeans and midnight for Korean time zone. So I know it's a bit of a rough time for some of you, but I just had to make sure that it would fit for as many people as possible. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play in it myself. I think that's probably the thing that you guys are most excited for, knowing you guys. I wanted to do that. And I'll upload the entire run here on the main channel. So even if you miss it on Twitch, you don't have to worry that you're missing out, because I will be uploading it here. But I would just love for you guys to join me and see, you know, how far we can push the viewership for that. That'd be awesome. Now, I'm going to go for one Void Ray here, just because that Overlord... I was going to make a Fleet Beacon right away, but that Overlord is so freaking fast. Or so freaking deep into my base that I think I just want to scare it off first. This is actually a pretty scary freaking wall, by the way. Like, it just feels like Zerglings can run into my base at any point. And now there's a couple Zerglings here, too, which makes me even more scared. I'm going to kill... This is kind of a weird little... His gas was a little late, right? Can I just go in here? I can go in here. Oh, that is painful for Mr. Guy. He also has a lot of drones, so I don't think he's gonna have that many Zerglings on my side of the map, potentially. Actually, a pretty nice little trade over here. That's gonna... Oh, I actually missed the over. That's so funny. I guess I'll make the Fleet Beacon over here then. Stupid avoider. Need to make sure to plug the wall here. And then I'll get a second gate. This second gate is actually important, by the way. You know why? This Overlord is now seeing I don't have the back base. So if this gateway wasn't here, then he would know that I'm doing something cheeky already, right? Now, I think what I should do is probably just add a ton of gateways. How many could I afford? I'm not quite sure, actually. 6? Should I make the Twilight Council, or is that too late? Like, I know... Yeah, I think it's actually too late. I think we're gonna go for 4 gas, mass sentry. That was one of the options I mentioned earlier. Do need to make sure to get another pylon so I can actually start that mothership somewhat in time, by the way. I don't know how much I need to build, because I'm gonna have to warp in a lot of stuff. I have 44 probes, which is pretty much perfect saturation. He sees that my warp gate is finished. As soon as this pylon finishes, I have enough minerals now. It's gonna coincide pretty cleanly with that. Maybe I really shouldn't have built it on this nexus, should I? Well, it's too late now, I guess. Let's see if I can get a gas real quick. That would be an awesome pickup. Hey, that I'm not gonna lie. That is straight up pretty stupid what I just did. I don't know if, I think he barely can't see it, but just, you know, by the fact that he might have seen it, this was really freaking stupid. Okay, I just made 9 gateways. I was actually aiming for 8, but I made 9, so that's what it's gonna be. I really hope okay, he's not looking, he's getting it pretty far. Maybe I don't really want to force field them in. Dude, I'm so curious now to know if he saw it. I'm not sure how much is gonna matter, because what do you even really prepare against this, you know? I think I'm gonna make another Void Ray too. That's gonna help with DPS against roaches. I definitely like that idea. Now keep in mind that I'm gonna warp some adepts over here. That'd be nice. I need to fly this mothership to his base, right? So I think I should probably clear a path over here. There's definitely a good chance that he's gonna see this somewhere on the way, but that's just something we can't avoid. Once again, I could have made a mothership on a smarter base, but I don't think I can avoid him seeing this if he happens to. No, oh, that is so painful. Oh my god. Okay, I mean, to be honest, guys, that was just a freaking genius link from downtown that I don't think I could have predicted. Because I actually set my adepts in front, but then I wasn't really able to do anything. Now, what I'm gonna do here, guys, is... Okay, this is incredibly risky. I'm gonna attack his 3rd base. Oh, man, am I really gonna do this? So the thing is, I can recall this army into his main base after attacking the 3rd base, but my army would be split because I can't recall the units from the reinforcement line also into the main base. So maybe I'll just go for... He's making spores already. Yeah, okay, he's making a lot of spores. This is going to be quite interesting, actually. And now I'm going to show up over here. Wait, is this the most genius fake of the year? I think it might actually be... Oh, I can't believe the Void Rays attacked the Queen instead of the Spore Crawler. That's so painful. And I'm gonna go back over here. I have a lot of force fields. Let's see, I guess I should probably use them already. Maybe I'll just target this down real quick. Look at that. Even though I'll keep warping it at home. I don't have rapid fire on Stalkers for some reason. I have so many force fields, I can just force field this forever. Okay, this is pretty cool. But what do I do now? That's the question. I mean, I still have to make some kind of killing move with this. This was the freaking 5,000 IQ mothership distraction. I guess at this point I should probably actually make this base. But I need something else, right? I need something more than this, and I don't know what it is. Now, I can... Okay, my reinforcements are gonna arrive at some point. I don't know exactly when, but they're gonna arrive at some point. I mean, that's obviously not rocket science, but they are going to arrive. I think I'm gonna check... Wait, maybe if he doesn't realize, I can... Look at this. I can recall over here. Yeah, his army's out of position. His army's definitely out of position. Here we go. The recall's gonna be in the main base, and we're gonna have the force fields, plus the time warp, by the way. Don't forget about the time warp. We're gonna have both of those things. He can bile it, but I can just keep shaving off his units. I guess I might as well time warp that already. Actually, I can keep trapping in his units too. That's a pretty decent idea. Look at this. His units are actually trapped. Here we go. I'm just going to keep going on a force field. He only has 1 Ravager, I believe. So he's not going to be able to do much. He's making a Spire. That Spire is not going to finish in time. He's losing every drone here already. I don't think I'm going to make a Twilight Council behind this. And I think I've done it once again, guys. I think what I'm going to do this game is convince you guys that this is just absolutely broken. Because... Right? I barely lost anything. That's almost 4 times the resources lost. I killed this base. I killed his main base. This guy had less eco than me, and my 3rd base wasn't even finished. And realistically, I could have made it wait before. This actually straight up looked incredibly broken. He scouted the mothership with a Ling. He was ready with Spore Crawlers. I even lost the Void Ray for free to a Spore Crawler over here just because I was microing poorly. But I mean, what are you really supposed to do? Like, there are so many force fields. It's actually... You know what, guys? I'm thinking about an extra version of this that could actually be genius. If I managed I think you should probably do it with a Robo. You could make a proxy gate, but usually they tend to scout them with Zergling, so I would do it with a Warp Prism. You could make a big army over here and make sure that you actually have the reinforcements on this side too. Then the Mothership can fly in, and you can decide just to recall wherever the army is not. If the army is in the main base, which it should be, because recall is just instant, then you can just go here and kill the base with force fields, with your army actually being big, because it reinforcements. If the army is not here, you can recall your entire army, first army plus the reinforcements into the main base. And I mean, this just looks insane. I've done Mothership rushes before, and I think I've always won with them. But now they look even stronger. The Mothership is stronger than before. It's just, this is incredible. This might be my favorite cheese yet. This is absolutely disgusting. Absolutely beautiful. Fantastic warm-up. Let's go to game number 2. All right, the second game is against Annapurna, a 4-5 Terran. Now, I could be wrong, because it sounds like a name. But I thought that was... Isn't that a mountain? Isn't it like one of the hardest mountains to climb in the world or something? Or does it just sound like that? It's also possible. Now, we got Terran. He was Terran too, right? Yeah. PVT. And I think we're gonna go for a Cyclone build. I'm not quite sure which one yet. I mean, there's a lot of fun to be had with Cyclones. I've seen so many people complain about Cyclones, by the way. Even after they got fixed and the damage became back to normal. I think they're still bugged in another way. At least that's what Trigger told me. But there are a lot of frustrations about playing against a Cyclone, because it's just like you lock on and then you just get shot at from like 13 range all the time or something, you know, like and there's nothing really you can do about it. I mean, the counter to the Cyclones is pretty much microing your units, but especially at lower levels, that's you know, not always a clear-cut case that they're gonna do that. So now let's see, I could go for a proxy factory. I need some brain power. How do I deal with this? So Terran, well, first of all, they make Cyclones themselves, but they also get siege tanks. If they don't get siege tanks, going for a very fast second factory would be insane, because then, you know, you just have more Cyclones than them and more Cyclones than their Reaper Hellion can handle, and they're just forked, right? If they do make a tank, it would probably be better to play something like maybe even Reaper expand and then go like 3 factory Cyclone after and try to snipe the third base kind of thing. That's not as cool as just trying to freaking hammer it down right from the start, though. I think maybe I should even go for a medevac so I can drop the Cyclones in the main base. This map, I didn't even think about this, by the way, but this map is perfect for this. Let me show you guys why. King's Cove is a bit of a crazy map for units like Reapers and Blinkstalkers, because the entire base is a cliff. So, like, try to cover this with one tank, you know, including this, of course. It's not going to be easy. Now, I only have one Reaper here. It's possible that we're getting proxy Reapered, by the way. In that case, we might be in a little bit of trouble. But I'm going to say I'll take that risk. I'm going to proxy my factory right away. I'll get a tech lab over here. And what am I going to do is I'm going to fly the barracks over as well. I'm going to fly the barracks to their base. It's going to take a while, but it's going to give me vision. And I don't think I want to make anything from the barracks anymore anyway. I think I'm actually just, you know, this Reaper is enough for me. I don't think I need anything else, so I can just fly it across. Probably shouldn't lose it. That would be very uThermal style, flying your buildings across the map and losing them and then not being able to make any more factories. The most classic example of this, you guys are definitely going to know this, I don't even have to say it, but it's obviously flying the factory in any of my ghost challenges, and then I realize I can't build nukes anymore because I lost my factory. Now, do I get the starport? I think I... Okay, I'm just gonna do it. I'm not sure if I have enough gas for it. That's what's kind of irking me a little bit here. I do want enough gas to actually produce these Cyclones. Yeah, I'm gonna miss a little bit. I think it should be okay. Like, the thing is, I just need a medevac in case there's gonna be a tank. That's really just all of it, you know? I don't want my entire build to be stopped because there's one tank just like, you know, just chilling there. Worst case, next to a bunker. So in that case, I'm going to make a medevac just so I can get a little bit of extra outplay potential more than anything else. I'm going to make a command center behind this, and then this is going to be a medevac. Probably going to skip the Cyclone for that as well. I'm kind of thinking, if... I don't really like doing those kind of builds against Terran, where you proxy everything, just because if they're very good with their Reapers, you know, they can just run to your base and kill your SCVs, and they should be able to defend at home. But judging by the amount of money I have, the best way to do this build probably would have been to just proxy one factory and get mag field for the Cyclones instead of making the extra factory. I think that way I would have had enough money and it still would have been a pretty strong rush. Okay, I think what I saw on the minimap, yeah, exactly. He saw that I was flying it, so he realized it was Cyclones. Judging by how many units he made there, this is looking pretty good. Let's see, does he have... Okay, he does have a command setting. Yeah, this is so many Cyclones. Oh, he's not even gonna get this. Yeah, okay, well, that is, yeah. I feel sorry for you, my friend. And now the worst part for him is that I have a medevac. And you know what that means? That means that he cannot win the lock-on battle ever. He can make a siege tank, and that's gonna be okay. But he cannot win the lock-on battle. Because whenever he locks onto one of my units, I can just lift it. This is where the medevac gets extremely broken. Oh man, this is brutal. I think he did the exact build that this was going to be really good against. He went for a build that I really like to do, which is to go for 5 units. Reaper Hellion. Oh, need to lift this before he gets shot by the tank. Exactly. He went for 5 units into Cyclone, meaning that he was going to get just 1 Cyclone instead of 2, and he wouldn't have had a tank. And now I can just contain him forever, I think. I'm pretty sure I killed every single Reaper, which means that I can also just build this base on the low ground. I just need to make sure I don't get obliterated by that tank from the high ground when I'm not paying attention. He's going for a Banshee without blow. Okay, so that I need to keep in mind because he could send it across at some point. I could make another medevac as well. This I'm going to have to retreat soon. I can actually lock onto that as well, by the way. His tank is probably sieging right over here if I had to guess. You can tell because he is... trying to move forward with his Cyclones, and he wouldn't do it unless he knew it was safe. Let's see where the tank is located. Don't see it right now. Especially moving forward quite bravely. I could try to go for the Cyclone, to be honest. I'm actually going to make a reactor on that starport. Let's see. Okay, am I going to take the risk? I think I am going to take the risk of going over here. Okay, need to just make sure to run away with that one. Didn't quite get a good lift on the second one, but you could see that I managed to save that initial Cyclone from the lock-on. The Viking is gonna die as well. He's trying to get closer with his tank, but he just can't. And this is not something that's easy to do, by the way, just before you guys think, oh, this is gonna be epic. I'm just gonna do a little bit of micro. It really is not that easy, because Cyclones have low HP. Terran units do a lot of damage, so they die pretty fast. But if you can get it, like, this is just incredibly... Look at what he has! He has 3 tanks and nothing else. That's literally his army right now. I'm taking my 3rd base. He's struggling to take his natural. That was actually a complete accident. See? Not easy. Not a rookie mistake at all by me. Oh, wait, I'm gonna kill this too, aren't I? Oh, no, okay, he has SCVs in position. Yeah, I think I can fall back a little more even and keep this safe. Can I keep this safe as well? I think barely or barely not. It looks like I can barely keep it safe from that tank. And now I can just go ahead and drop in the main base. This is just an absolutely torturous strategy. Now this guy is getting tortured to the max. And now, since I have these medevacs, I can just do this as well. That Cyclone finally dies. Maybe I can even land this at some point. Don't think that's the best idea ever. I can... Okay, he barely didn't get that. Look, I can even micro against this Banshee. Oh, wait, I should have lifted that. I didn't realize it's my bad. But now I have more Cyclones on the way. Let's see, where is he putting a tank? There's a tank over here. He's definitely not going to siege that, I think, because it would die. But sadly for him, I have more Cyclones. So these tanks are... Look, he's actually so scared. He's already putting the SCVs in position. I'm just going to drop on top. It's actually kind of interesting that... I didn't think it would work like that, to be honest. You guys realize that? Okay, that's my bad. I just assumed that the Cyclones would lock onto the tanks. I kind of thought there would be like... some kind of priority built in there, but it's really just 100% based on distance. Okay, well, that's interesting to know. It's something that I probably already saw before and I knew, but it's just something you don't think about. Maybe it doesn't feel entirely logical. Maybe that's what it is. Anyway, we have a massive economy, and I'm just going to keep building Cyclones and hopefully contain my opponent forever. That's the plan. I'm not sure if there's anything else I can pick off. I mean, the truth is I have 4 medevacs, so I can just drop wherever I want for the rest of the game. Probably get an armory as well, at least for armor upgrades. I think there's going to be 1 tank here that's exposed for sure. Actually, it's 2 tanks. I don't want to drop it. The Viking would take care of my medevac a little bit too fast, so I think we're going to play... He's going to lose that Viking, by the way, if he stays too close. He is actually going to lose that, yeah. So Cyclones are pretty much good against anything now. Well, that's not true. They're good against anything that can't shoot back. God, I feel like... You know what we should do, guys, for fun? We should make a... uThermal Sun Tzu book with all like the dumb, super obvious quote that I've said before. I think you guys were making fun of me in the last Battlecruiser video because I said something like, battle cruisers win against empty bases or something like that. I swear, guys, these things make sense to me as I'm saying them, okay? Sometimes I just can't convey the message perfectly. Now, I'm gonna lose my barracks. I mean, at this point, I have 5 factories, so now not really that bad. Wait, oh no, guys. I have too many cyclones for this, I think. This is exactly what I'm talking about. It's very easy to deny people's third bases when they... that... I would leave. Honestly, if that happened to me, I would leave the freaking game. Unless he has a big tank army in front of my base right now, I would definitely leave the game. Okay, he's gonna siege... dude, this is so sad. He has to siege so far in advance. Just because I can lock on... I can even kill this one pretty easily, by the way, I think. Look at that. This other tank's not even gonna shoot. Yeah, it's gone. Oh, man. I think if I would play this perfectly, he wouldn't even be able to get this base at any point. Because the thing is, if he sends too many tanks here, I can drop in his main base, right? That's the thing. I can't believe he's building cyclones, by the way. That has to be said. I have a million cyclones with Macfield, and he is making his own cyclones to fight against it. That's kind of crazy. Now, the scariest thing that could happen is that he gets into my base with a siege position. So that is probably the one thing I should avoid happening. I mean, even if he does, I can just drop in his main base once again. Like, that's the biggest, scariest potential that I have right now. I already have 88 SCVs, and they're all mining, by the way. And my opponent is on 2 bases. Unless he has a hidden base, which is definitely possible. See if I can have a look around. Don't see it so far. Oh, these tanks are also gonna die. He was trying to just bait me from the high ground, but the truth is I just have too many units, so it's not even inefficient for me. Like, my income is freaking crazy. He's now gonna see that I have a 5th base. Oh, God. I feel like this guy is torturing himself, by the way. Normally, it's me doing the torturing. I think this guy is doing it to himself, let's be honest. Now, he's clearly playing some kind of mech. He's making a lot of bases. Oh, I shouldn't have lifted that. I thought he would keep the lock-on going. He's seeing a... Wait. Yeah, well, I forgot what I was going to say there for a second. Sorry. He's making a lot of bases, which means he's playing mech, is what I wanted to say. Because you can't really play like this while you're playing bio. Like, you don't have the possibility to start many bases because you don't have enough minerals for that. Yeah, you need to be a little careful here. I would like to go for a massive drop in the main base. I don't know if I have enough cyclones for this here. And make a couple more CCs over here. And they actually fit. Oh my god, I have so many medevacs. Alright, well, these are gonna go then. Maybe I can see... Oh, wait. He left it completely alone. Oh, no. Guys, this is gonna be really bad for him. You know why? This is gonna be terrible for him. Because I'm gonna be able to get in here. He's gonna be completely distracted. And then my units are gonna be able to hit the main base. I hope the tank dies. The tank does die. And here we go. He's not gonna have... Well, he has 1 tank ready for this. He has 2 tanks over there. But this is going to be a pretty painful drop for him. Now, the lock-ons are all going to be used on the SCV. So this is a little bit of a suicide drop. It's still going to be very efficient. Wait, okay, never mind. He's actually going to lose all of his units, looks like. He lost all of his units and all of the SCVs. Oh, that is painful. He's going to lose every single Viking now, too. He's not going to really want to siege those tanks because he's going to I'm going to drop on top of them, and that's going to be very painful. You'll probably get those as well, I think. Exactly. Let's try to lock onto those. I thought he was gonna siege onto the other one. Siege the other tank, but he didn't quite do that. I can kill this tank too, by the way. I just need to wait for my lock-on to come back. Look. God, that is so sad. He has nothing in his main base, guys. I know he's producing from... Yeah, he is producing from all of those factories. At this point, I should be making more of my own factories. I feel like this guy is enabling me a lot of joy by not giving in to the torture, you know? Like, he's actually doing his best, and if we're being honest, he's doing a pretty good job at it, you know? I feel like most Terrans would have definitely died by now, but he's still in it. But I am having an absolutely fantastic time doing freaking Cyclone Doom drops. Now, it does have a couple too many tanks for me to go for that. I have 112. If you guys were wondering why my army was so small and this amount of supply, it's because I have 112 SCVs. And you know what? I'm gonna make even more. This is... Please don't copy this, by the way. Just saying. It's just... This is something I like to do, but it's not necessarily a good idea. Let's put it that way. Well, I can kill that base, but I think I can just go in here. Like, he doesn't have enough tanks anymore. Well, I need to be careful for this. I think I'm actually going to fight this over here. Try to get a little bit of a trade going. At least get those Vikings off the board. I hope so. Barely not going to be able to do that. Then I'm going to go for this tank over here. There's going to be a nice kill. Like, if he's going to chase me, then I can lock onto his Cyclones as well. There you go. That's another Cyclone's going to die. That one's also going to die. He's going to try to siege those, but I'm not going to let him siege them. He's going to lose those tanks. And, I mean, I can definitely tell that this is a very complicated way to play. Like, I was making it sound like it's just gonna be fun and a little goofy and stuff, but like the kind of micro that you have to do is actually quite complicated, you know? Really should be using these medevacs a little more. Guess I'll just kill this base. If I have to lose my cyclones over it, so be it. Gonna make some more factories. Now he sees I have a 9th base. I don't even know what this is at this point. A 1,000,000th base? Oh my god, look at the income. 125 SCVs against 41. 4.3k minerals and 1.7k gas. Now this was quite the game, but I do have to admit, or well, I honestly kind of knew this before. This is really a pure outplay style. If your opponent plays well enough, which my opponent honestly did, he just had a really bad start. With the tank positioning, he was very careful with the tanks over here. It does get very complicated to attack, and then you're gonna have to do doom drops. Though realistically, you can also just make starports and go for Liberators and Vikings. That's the real play, by the way, if you guys want to know. Before you guys lose all your MMR, literally only making Cyclones and Medevacs, going for mass starports, Liberator range, air upgrades, Liberators and Vikings if you need it for air control would be the play. But otherwise, you're going to have to go for Doom Drops. And I mean, this game, it worked out, but I needed a little bit of luck. Like, he let me sneak in here, didn't have tanks in position, distracted him, got the mass Doom Drop in the main. That's what got it done. Cyclone Cheese is also a success. Let's go for the final game. All right, the final game is against Baby SCV with a Terran portrait playing Protoss. Now, I'm glad I noticed, because a lot of the times I don't notice when they play a different race from their portraits, so that's good. Now, we got Zerg, and there are a couple units that I still have to do them a little afraid to do, to be honest. The first one is the Lurker. I think I've officially decided to not do the Viper, by the way, because I actually think it's just... I told you guys I tried it a couple times. It is just impossible and incredibly frustrating. So I think the Viper we can officially cross out. But I still have to do the Mutalisk and the Lurker. And the Hydra. Now the Hydra is actually not going to be very difficult. I freaking love Hydras. I mean, it's always going to be a bit of a challenge. But compared to the Lurker and the Muta, I don't think it's going to be that difficult. I think I'm going to go for the Muta this game. Just because I really like Mutas more than anything else. Lurkers, in my opinion, very strong unit. I don't know how I'm gonna do a cheese with them. It's probably gonna have to be some kind of... There used to be a build that Chinese Zergs used to play. It was some kind of 2-base Lurker drop against Terran. Which sounds really dumb, but I think the way it worked is like, if you're making a 2-base lair against Terran, there's 2 options. Normally, right? 2-base Muta or quick Nidus. So either they make turrets or, you know, I don't know what they do against Nidus actually. Go for Banshees against the Roaches or something. I don't even remember what the response to Nidus is normally. But then if they make a lot of bio, like for example going for 3 racks would be really good against Nidus, right? Just make a lot of Marines with Stim. If then you have Lurkers in their base, that's a problem, right? So that is probably, I mean, I can't really confirm that I'm gonna play a ZVT at any point, right? I'm playing random, and yeah, I can't know. But in this case, I think I'm gonna go for the Mutas here. First of all, I like Mutas, like I mentioned earlier. It's also a pretty big map. I have a back base over here. I could go for the Link Drop version, but it's just not gonna be that good on this map, I'm afraid. I feel like a Link Drop would be, yeah, normally very strong. Now I'm not so sure. I could... Okay, let's see. I'm gonna have to move this Overlord up. This map's really big. Is there an Overlord pillar here? Where the hell is the Overlord? I thought every map had like an Overlord pillar, besides a couple, and whenever they don't, I notice it. Ah, this one actually does not have an Overlord pillar. That's interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna go for the lair right away. I have one Zergling following that probe, which is nice. The other one I can click around. I think I could go for a sneaky Link Drop. I do actually like that idea. I'm not even sure if he's gonna have that walled off, but he probably would. So what I can do is, if you guys know my classic Link Drop build, you'll know that it's 2 Overlords. You just drop them straight into the main, and that's pretty much it. It's a complicated build to learn initially, but when you get it, it's not that complicated anymore. You just need to make sure to make enough links at the right time, and that's pretty much it. Now this Overlord, since this map is too big, might actually be a little late, which is a problem. I think I already made enough links. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to send 1 Overlord into the natural and 1 Overlord into the main base. I think that is the perfect idea. And I'm going to make a second gas behind this. I might have to make spores, but we're going to be able to see with the Overlords. I guess I'll just morph this already. Yeah, it is indeed going to be a little late, but since this is not as much a super fast attack as it normally would be, I think it's going to be all right. I guess we'll just see how it's going to go. I really did underestimate just quite how big this map is, by the way. Like I said, my overlord a little later, but I still thought it was going to be in time. Apparently it wasn't. Now I have this overlord over here. I don't know which one I want to go in with first. Maybe I should do a little bit of scouting first. Like ideally, I was making a... Okay, he has a sentry, double gate, battery as well. Yeah, I mean, it's a weird one, for sure. Like, I made some mistakes over here in the early game, but my opponent is also playing a little weird. I saw something on the mini-map. Actually, that's probably Elucidate Phoenix, right? Yeah, because he did have the sentry. Here we go. There's the drop. And then I'm going to drop over here, and he might be distracted. Wait, this is perfect. I think we found it, guys. The perfect moment for the Mutas. And now I have these in the main. Okay, my opponent looks to be going for some kind of Immortal all-in on 2 bases. Wait, no way. You guys realize what just happened? He F2'd all army hotkeyed his Scouting Phoenix back. So now he's not gonna know that I'm making a Spire. My opponent is going for some kind of Robo all-in, and I'm gonna have a Spire. He's losing 1 million workers to this. Oh my god, this is gonna be beautiful. This Spire really... Oh, this makes me so happy. This was mostly just intended to be a distraction. It was definitely more than a distraction in the end. But my Spire is going to be able to finish. And what you can do with a Spire against this kind of attacks is you can snipe the War Prism. And then they can't reinforce and make enough anti-air. And let's see, I'm going to try to kill one more of these. Looks like I can't. This is going to die. I think I'm going to... This Overlord is going to die, and I don't really want it to die. So what I'm going to do is I'll just unload over here. Try to get just a little bit of distraction going on. Like, I know these are going to die. This is pure distraction. And then probably make an overseer with this to see if he's actually going to make some extra gateways or something, or what exactly it's going to be. There's a really good distraction here, by the way. Gonna make a couple spines over here, and we're gonna do a... this is like a real... This makes me so excited because this is such a Wings of Liberty play. I'm not sure if you guys remember the days where Zergs were always playing 2-base Mutas on low eco games, and it was so hard for people to deal with. Now there's the War Prism. I already knew that he was gonna attack us with the Prism. That much was pretty much obvious, but I didn't exactly know how fast. It does seem like he is going for an extra base. Now, pretty much my entire play here is to just make enough spines and mass mutas. Like, this really is going to be a cool Wings of Liberty-esque mutalist type game. He doesn't have enough defense over here, I'm pretty sure. He has the 1 battery, that's not going to do a whole lot. Mutas are already in his base. He is going to be able to warp Stalkers. The truth is, Stalkers are not actually that great against mutas. When you go up against mutas, you would really prefer to have something like Phoenixes, for example. This is also... Guys... This is the perfect map. Wait, oh my god, does he have enough Stalkers? I don't think he has enough Stalkers here, guys. Oh, this is gonna be painful. He's gonna lose the Prism, followed by all the units, because I have extra Mutalisks over here. There we go. Now these are gonna die. Oh, this is so good. Welcome back to Wings of Liberty, my baby SCV Protoss spread. Every Stalker dies. He's gonna try to move forward, but I have enough spines. So all I have to do is target these Adepts, I think. See, I'll just follow the Adepts. I don't think anything is gonna happen with these. The spines are actually in range of that somehow. What the hell is the range on spine crawlers? That looked kind of crazy to me. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to go for Phoenixes still. Now, I didn't get to finish my sentence, I believe, but why this map is so good for this is because you don't need as many minerals, you just need a lot of gas. Wait, he's actually attacking with these Stalkers, but without the Prism. He needs the recall, he's gonna lose every single Stalker. He's actually gonna lose all of them. This is what I mean, by the way. Stalker's not actually that fantastic against Mutas because it's really hard to keep them all in the right position, and then when you only have half of them, you get absolutely obliterated. And there we go. And this episode made me so happy. The first game, freaking awesome. This game, freaking awesome. The last game was a lot of fun. 9 bases mass cyclone. But this, I actually felt like I was back in the nostalgic Wings of Liberty for a while. Because 2-base Muta, I remember playing against it so often. And I would get so upset. Because the build was so ridiculous. They wouldn't even expand. They would just make 5,000 spines in the natural. And just keep making Muta. So you're like... I don't want to keep losing my probes, so I'm attacking and then you have to go back, and it was such a torture, and now I was the one dishing that torture out, and that feels absolutely awesome. We finished the Muta Challenge, the Cyclone Challenge, and the Mothership Challenge today for a very successful episode number 13. And we did just cross 5,000 MMR, by the way, with this win, which is absolutely incredible, putting us at about rank 80. Not even rank 100, rank 80 Grandmaster in this challenge so far. I think we have about 10 units left to do. Probably going to be about 3, 4, 5 more episodes, but that's going to be it for today. Hope you guys had a fantastic time. If you did, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all for the next one. Adios.